All right, yeah. I mean, I gotta tell you, Jimbo, we got a show for the guest today.
Big time. Big show.
Big.
Big.
Alrighty. So I like the music, Jimmy. I like that. I like to let it play a little bit.
You do you.
I'm trying. Live from Food Buy Studios in New York City, it's the Hospitality Hangout podcast with the restaurant guy and the finance guy. Food Buy, your partner in procurement. Jimbo, we got a show today.
We do. We got a big time show, big time guest. Very excited. I have the privilege of welcoming you all more formally to the Branded Hospitality Hangout, a hospitality-focused podcast where the founders of Branded Hospitality Ventures share their insights and bring technology and innovation leaders that are making things happen in the industry we love. My name is Jimmy Frischling, otherwise known as the Finance Guy. I'm going to pass it back to Mr. Michael Schatzberg, also known as the Restaurant Guy.
And thank you for that kind introduction, Jimmy. And to all those listening, feel free to call me Shatsy. Brad, we are the personalities. We are the lifeblood behind Branded Hospitality. We're at the intersection of capital, hospitality, innovation, emerging brands, technology, and salads. Jimmy, nobody likes salads more than you and me.
Yes.
I mean, when I think salads, you know what comes to my mind?
You and me?
Well, you, for sure.
Yes.
You 100%. I got to tell you, we got a hell of a show. But Jimmy, before we talk about salads.
Yes.
Could you imagine having a salad restaurant or thousands of them with no salad in the restaurant? No food?
No food.
No food.
Tough business plan.
Tough business. People come in, they're like, I'll have a salad, and they're like, I'm sorry, I got no salad.
Got no salad. Got no lettuce.
I got nothing. It'd be terrible, right?
Yeah, need the food to run a restaurant.
That's why you got to have a great procurement system. You got to know what to buy, where to buy. You got to get the best prices, because if you get the best prices, you can give your customers the best prices.
Sounds like a good deal.
You know what you need to do?
Does such a thing exist?
It does. It does, Jimmy. And there's a membership. It's called Food Buy. Food Buy. You go to foodbuy.com. You know what the membership is?
I bet it's very expensive.
Free.
Free.
And you know what you save if you're a restaurant guy buying food on foodbuy.com?
No idea.
25%.
25%?
That's right. You're bringing down your salad costs. If a head of lettuce costs you $10, it's a beautiful head of lettuce. Big, big. You know what you get it for?
I'm going to let you do the math on this one.
But a lot less, Jimmy.
Okay.
25% less. 25% less. That's what you're doing, okay? So I implore everyone, go to foodbuy.com and start saving money right now. Jimbo, we got a guest today, and I got to tell you, it's a big deal.
We do, and we're gonna jump in, but we're gonna ask our guest to be a moment. Actually, no, we're not gonna ask him to be patient. We are very excited today, Mr. Jonathan Neiman, the co-founder and CEO at Sweetgreen. Bam! That was like a mic drop. Co-founder, CEO, Mr. Jonathan Newman, CEO of Sweetgreen. And by the way, I really do love salads. I love their salads. And by the way,
you eat a salad?
I mean, not just a salad. I'm eating Sweetgreen's bestseller, the Harvest salad.
Is mine the bestseller?
Yours is one of their new seasonal items. New seasonal. The steak. I forgot what well, Jonathan's going to tell us what you're eating, but I got the Harvest #1 seller. Didn't even know that. Now I'm going to ask for Jonathan's patience, because before we let him come on in, he's like, do I ever get to say a word on this podcast? Our listeners know that we release our podcast on Tuesdays. Therefore, we like to play a little game called Trivia Tuesday, never to be confused with Taco Tuesday. I'm going to share 3 factoids about our friend Jonathan. 2 are true, 1 is not true. And later in the episode, I'm going to ask Shatsy to guess which were the 2 truths and which was the
I was tricked last week. I was tricked.
Because the words matter. I got to tell you.
Bamboozled.
The words matter. You got to pay close attention to the words. All right, here we go. Fact 1 about Jonathan. He's a New Year baby. Born exactly at 12 a.m. on January 1st. New Year baby.
Hey.
Words matter.
You're a leap year baby.
I'm a leap year baby.
That's interesting.
My older brother's a New Year's Eve baby.
Aha.
Jonathan Newman.
Is a New Year baby.
New Year baby,
Right.
but here's the key. Born exactly 12 a.m. on January 1st. I want to note that.
So is that New Year
It
or
could be a
New
New
Year's
Year
Eve?
baby. It could be a New Year baby, but he could have been born at 12:01, and that's a ruse. All right, fact 2. Jonathan's favorite hobby, surfing. I can see that.
He doesn't look like a surfer. Look at the guy. He's gorgeous, but he doesn't look like a surfer.
He's a surfer to me.
Really?
Yes. Looks like a surfer. By the way, surf, salad, I think that's...
It does go together.
And then
tacos
fact
and surf.
Fact 3, Jonathan's favorite food is avocado. And one of the original names of Sweetgreen was Avo.
I like that.
I think that's interesting.
It is interesting.
And by the way, it might be one of his favorite foods, and it may not be one of the restaurant. It may not have been one of the original names. So there you go. Fact 1, Jonathan, born exactly 12 a.m., January 1st, New Year's baby. Fact 2, Jonathan's favorite hobby, surfing. Fact 3, favorite food, avocado, and Sweetgreen's one of the original names of Sweetgreen was Avo.
I got to tell you, I like it, and I got some ideas there. I got them. All right, so Jimmy, how do you become the CEO and founder of the largest, fastest growing, greatest salad chains in the entire world? How does that happen?
How do you do that? You know what?
You surf.
You surf.
You live out in Cali,
yeah.
Right? You surf, right? And you know what else? You have to also, you got to have entrepreneurship in the blood, Jimmy.
Yes.
Okay, you have to have it in the blood, okay? And you have to, in high school, you start a babysitting business, okay? Because you're an entrepreneur.
I did that.
And you started, exactly, look at you. You love salads, and this guy started the biggest salad company in the world, okay? Babysitting business, and you're making money, and you've got babysitters all over the high school, and you're doing babysitting, right? And you get that into so big, and then you start tutoring. And I don't know about the basketball games, but there's something about basketball games there, okay?
I think the basketball. I refereed Little League. I refereed basketball games.
Well, I got to tell you, you have a lot in common.
I got a chance to be the CEO of Sweetgreen.
You're damn right. Okay, you got to go to Georgetown. You got to go to Georgetown.
I spent a summer at Georgetown.
Yeah, but East Coast school, Georgetown. You got to get a degree in finance, so you know about So you're doing babysitting, you're doing this, you're doing that. Okay. And then you start doing like shared bikes and scooters, and while you're in college, you're dabbling because you're an entrepreneur, Jimmy. You're an entrepreneur, okay? It's not just salads, right? And then you're dabbling in marketplaces and ads and selling ads, and you really enjoy. And then you go abroad, right? And what you realize when you're abroad, Jimmy, in faraway lands, right? What you realize is healthy food is where it's at.
Yes.
It's not about McDonald's. There's nothing wrong with McDonald's, but what you realize is you want healthy foods, right? And what Jonathan realized, right, is when he was abroad is there weren't a lot of healthy options here. You know what he did? He came back to the United States of America. You know what he did? He said, I'm going to open up a salad concept, okay?
Avo.
And we're going to call it Avo, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, the founder, the chairman of the board, the CEO of Sweetgreen. Here he is, Mr. Jonathan Neiman. Take it away. Jonathan, how did we do? What did we get right? What did we get wrong? Tell us everything. Can I become the CEO and founder of Sweetgreen?
Jonathan, did Chelsea get anything right?
You got some of it right.
Okay.
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here. The first thing is while we're known for salads, we think of ourselves as much more. The vision was really all about connecting people to real food.
Sweetgreen, it's more than salad.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at our product mix today, it is much less salads than it is warm bowls and plates growing. And really, our vision for this is really to be known for our exceptional sourcing with these, small sustainable farms, how we make everything from scratch, and in a lot of ways, bringing these fast food classics that you're used to and these flavors and giving you a healthier option to have them. So whilst salads is where we started, over time, I think you'll think of us much less as a salad place, much more about a place where you can get delicious, craveable, real food that is also good for you.
Should we start over again and just bring in and say Sweetgreen? It's not. It's more than salads. We can do that if you want.
No, it's good. It's good.
We'll keep going.
We're a one-take group. We're like Sinatra.
Yeah.
I'm not Sinatra.
I wasn't really going to start it over. I'm just like,
no, I agree. And when we were planning lunch today, I was looking at the Sweetgreen menu. I got to say, there were bowls. There were protein bowls. There was quinoa. There were some salads.
What was it?
Is it called quinoa?
I was It just sounds weird. Is it quinoa or quinoa?
Quinoa.
I think what the N isn't silent, Jimmy.
Well, I was ordering quinoa down at Kiowa Island, so I refused.
Kiowa Island.
Quinoa. It's like I was ordering salsa from a Mexican restaurant and getting salsa.
I love when you
I want my salsa and salsa.
Don't confuse those.
Listen, Jonathan, I want to kick us off. There's something that as we've been getting to know one another, something really struck me about restaurants operations being a blend of art and science, and the science being automation, which you guys, I think, are really a leader in the industry. And I love that about Sweetgreen. And the art being the actual experience. So with your infinite kitchen concept, of which I think you now have 10 locations, you're clearly living that philosophy. But what fascinates me is how you're envisioning, the Spotify of food. And this is something Shatsy's not memorialized as clearly as that. But Shatsy wants to engage with restaurants that know what he wants before he knows what he wants. And I think that's your Spotify food, the idea that technology and your understanding of
Hey,
guests.
Jonathan, there's a question coming, by the way. It just
Yes.
takes 30 to 40 minutes to get
Sorry.
it.
So
gonna
anyway,
be there, I just
that
promise.
you want to know what you know what the guests want to eat before they do. So just like Spotify's Discovery Weekly seems to read my mind, walk us through your personalization revolution. How do you engage with guests on that personal basis?
Do you remember the question or no?
Yeah, I do. And so let me just take it back a little bit. You talked about art and science, and that's been a core pillar of our leadership philosophy from day one. The brands that we admire, we look at the great consumer brands, have figured out how to just brilliantly blend the two. And for us, the science is much more than automation. It's all of the technology, all the enablement, all of the things that allow us to execute brilliantly and make the food affordable, convenient, and consistent. But people don't buy automation, people don't buy your app. That's not the things that get people excited. What really people love is it's the art, it's the story, it's the flavors, it's the design, it's the experience. And that's why we deeply believe if you want to be great in any consumer brand, but especially in restaurants, you need a really thoughtful blend of the two. You can be great at the art and have no science, and you can have one great restaurant and never scale. You can be great at the science and have no art, and then you're just, a fancy, have a great tech stack and automation that nobody wants to eat. Remember, we sell food at the end of the day. The key is the food has to be delicious. People want to eat it, and the experience has to be great. So you talked about this idea of the Spotify of food, and one of the things we've thought about, we've been very early in terms of how we've leveraged technology across all of these different disruptions in the industry to enable our business and accelerate our growth. Early on, it was around digital ordering. When we started the business in 2007, it was August 1st. We opened our first store. The iPhone had not been out yet. The iPhone releases a few months later. It's crazy to think about, right? How much the world changed in that moment. And us being 22 years old, we're able to, maybe the naivete, be able to see how much that could, how that could change our business. We realized, wow, why are people waiting in line? They can just order it on their phone. People thought that was crazy. Of course, everything is done on people's phones today. The next iteration today, as you talked about, is around how we think we can leverage automation to improve the experience. But as it relates to this idea of Spotify of food, we really believe that today food is, you have static menus because that's all of this real estate that we have to show. But Sweetgreen, we have something like almost infinite inventory. When you think about our menu items, we have 65 ingredients that can be combined in billions of ways. So imagine if you're on a high protein diet, or you're vegetarian, or you name it, you're kosher, or you're keto, and you're seeing the same menu, Schatz, you're seeing the same menu as Jimmy. It doesn't make any sense. So over time, we believe there's a huge opportunity to personalize the menu and make it much more relevant for you. And where we talk about the Spotify of food, it's very much like, imagine your Discover Weekly being your Discover Weekly for your menu. And over time, we think it can get, pretty nuanced in terms of not just understanding what you want to eat, but there's a lot of people starting to track their health in different ways, test their microbiome, understand.
I track my steps on my iPhone.
You track
I'm tracking my steps.
For a marathon, all of these
Can
different
I ask you a question? What's the right number of steps? What's the right number of a healthy? I mean, look, you're a healthy guy. I mean, you got this chain of healthy options of food. You really believe in the health. How many steps should I be getting in a day, and adding that to my harvest salad? Like, what's the right balance?
Walking is one of the greatest things you can do. It's good for your brain and it's good for your body. It helps clear your mind. I'm a huge fan of walking. I take a lot of meetings walking, take a lot of walks. I don't know what the number is. Maybe 10,000 steps is probably
That's
a
the
good
number I've been hearing a lot of.
Yeah, it's a good number.
Bigger than my number.
Who came up with that?
I'll tell you what's amazing about walking. If you walk out right after a meal, it can help drop your sugar spike in a huge way. So if you ever have a big meal, you take a 20-minute walk right after, and it can do incredible things for your ability to digest.
I like that.
That's good advice.
You see, that is good advice. Because I got to tell you,
Podcast gold.
Yeah, because I go out for dinner and I overeat in these Italian joints here in New York City. Jimmy, come on. I mean, how much we overeat? I mean, I don't need that chicken parmesan and that. But you know what? I don't walk after.
Should walk after.
I go like lay down in bed and then I have indigestion. Yeah, I got to start walking. Yeah, I got to start walking. Listen, I got to tell you, let's talk a little bit about beyond. I mean, you say Sweetgreen is more than just salads. You got a full. I mean, you got 65 different menu items or ingredients that could be made in different combinations. You're always adding new things, right? Now we're talking about, maybe even adding, or you're testing out air-fried French fries or air-fried ripple fries. Is this true? With a pickle ketchup in the LA market? I mean, everyone's loving a pickle ketchup. So you guys are going way beyond salads and bowls. So menu innovation, like what do you, is that your idea? Are you the guy coming up with the innovation? And if you're not, I'm going to still give you all credit for menu innovation. And so talk to me about the menu innovation and where you're going, and what can we expect next at Sweetgreen?
Yeah, so first of all, the credit goes all to the team. I give credit to Chef Chad, our head of culinary, my partner Nick, who leads a lot of the culinary.
But mostly you.
but I'll take some of the credit. But it really speaks to our approach around changing the way people think about healthy food, and it goes back to my comments around not wanting to be just a salad place. We want to be really the McDonald's of our generation. And while it started with salads, that means introducing different foods for different customer segments and different day parts, and being able to be that trusted place, that American eatery, where you can get really high quality source food made from scratch that tastes delicious. And so ripple fries, we've always thought, how do we, play on these American classics, but do it a Sweetgreen way? So the team came up with this idea to take these great potatoes, make these fries with only 4 ingredients. And I don't know if you've seen our competitors, but they have 20 plus ingredients in them.
Man, I got to tell you, I do like McDonald's fries, but on Instagram I saw something going on, like how they make those. Whoa.
It's delicious. And you've seen this stuff. They used to make them with beef tallow. Yeah. And we want, for us, we talk about follow Mother's Nature's lead. Let the food speak for itself. So that
what are the 4 ingredients in the Sweetgreen ripple fry?
The most important thing that we're proud of is that we do not use any seed oils in them. So they're cooked in avocado oil.
Yeah, but can I ask you a question about seed oil for a second before you go on? So my youngest son, he's 19. He just came. He said seed oils are the worst things that we could eat. He went into the pantry and he basically said, everything we have has seed oil. I mean, everything.
Seed oil is in most things that people eat today.
Is vegetable oil the same thing or no?
Yeah, what kind of vegetable? Yes.
I don't know.
I mean,
yeah. So seed oil is bad, right?
Canola oil, grapeseed oil. Yeah, these
There's
oils
a sunflower seed oil, right?
Yeah, and there's different kinds. So it's really a lot of it is about the omega content and the ratios within it. And so you have certain ones that are better than others. Things like canola are not good.
Not good.
Things like
I've never seen a canola.
Yeah, high olealic sunflower oil, better. Avocado oil, better. Extra virgin olive oil, the best. And so I'm really happy that people are becoming more aware of this. Yeah. Last year, we announced that we removed seed oils from all of our cooking. We cook everything in extra virgin olive oil and avocado
you see?
oil.
That's big knowledge right there. Only EVO. EVOO.
EVOO. Liquid gold, we call it.
Liquid gold. EVOO.
EVOO. Drill, baby, drill. Or press, baby, press, right?
Press, baby, press.
Press, baby, press.
That's the whole Sweetgreen approach. Take something you love, French fries. Who doesn't love French fries? We're not saying everything you eat has to be low caloric soup. Like, healthy for us is about real food. It's about unprocessed real food that is still delicious. So, that's our approach to everything.
And what about the pickle ketchup? Are you making the pickle ketchup?
Yeah, we're actually making the pickle ketchup.
And you're making your own ketchup, or are you taking like Heinz and just put a little?
No, we take we use a ketchup. We use ketchup. The other thing that we're really we focus on is hidden sugar. You'd be surprised how many things you eat that have sugar in it that you don't know. Traditional ketchup is just full of sugar. So we use a ketchup without sugar. Sir Kensington ketchup. We put
Kensington's. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, I noticed like now Heinz has like I think it's like it doesn't say all natural, but it's just ketchup. And
yeah, look at it. They're adding sugar to most ketchup. So our whole thing is let's be transparent about the food that we're serving you. Let's get rid of the hidden sugars, and at the same time, let's figure out a way to make it delicious. Because if it doesn't taste good and it's just healthy, we're never going to win. I have this
Before we go
concept-
on, let's just learn no seed oils, no more ketchup unless you check the ingredients,
Sir Kensington.
right? Every meal should be from Sweetgreen.
Maybe 9 out of 10.
9 out of
9
10
out of,
meals.
9 out
Okay
of,
with
9 out
9
of 10. 9 out of 10.
And you can cheat once a month anywhere you want. That's your cheat day,
Get a cheat day.
right? And you can have a chicken parmesan.
I subscribe to the 90-10, 80-20 rule.
There you go.
Try to be healthy, clean. You can't be dogmatic about these things. I'm not, I run this company. I'm not dogmatic. I love to eat. I eat everything. I eat all kinds of food, and I'm a foodie, so I'm gonna eat all over the place. But part of the reason we created Sweetgreen is so you can have a dependable place to eat most days, and then you can have your cheat days and go eat whatever you want. And that's really, I don't believe in being dogmatic around these things. It's more about just having food where the enemy is not calories. The enemy is processed food. That's what destroys your metabolic system and is really destroying the health of America. And so we just want to be an option where you can trust and get real food that is still delicious.
I love it.
There's a lot of great stuff there. I
No, it
appreciate
is.
all that, Jonathan. Listen, we've got some breaking news. And I have the privilege, must be in good graces with our producer, because I get to break it. Sweetgreen is relaunching its loyalty app in 2025 to be a point-based loyalty program. You were one of the OGs. You were one of the first in your category to have your own proprietary app, and now you're completely revamping your loyalty app. What drove the decision to reimagine the digital experience?
Well, Jonathan invented the iPhone. If you listen to the whole thing,
I wish.
you hear he invented the iPhone in August.
He didn't invent the iPhone, but he did pinpoint the day the BlackBerry died.
Yeah. It's his idea. He could have went iPhone or salad restaurant. He went salad restaurant.
There you go. Healthy, non-processed food restaurant. But Jonathan, the revamping of the app, the loyalty app, tell us about it.
Yeah, so we've always been about innovating on the digital experience, and how do we give customers more reasons to use Sweetgreen, use our digital experience, and drive that frequency. One of the things, like the magic parts of our business model, is the frequency of our guests, and I think a lot of that speaks to the convenience, the selection, and the variability of being able to choose from a broad menu and also make
You
your
go to
own.
Sweetgreen every day and have a different meal.
You have something different, and the fact that you feel good after you're eating it. That's what our customers tell us, is you feel good, and that's why you end up wanting to come back. I have this concept I call the 4 stages of food. 4 stages. First stage is
Yeah, should I be writing this down?
write this down.
I'm writing this down.
Very, very important. 'Cause
Okay.
the first company to perfectly crack this is Unstoppable. I think we're on our way.
Okay, go ahead.
First stage is, how do you feel before eating the food?
Before eating.
How do you feel? Hopefully excited, right?
Mm-hmm.
You look at that, you're like, ooh, I'm craving that thing. Second stage, you're eating the food. Hopefully it's delicious.
Yeah.
Tastes
okay.
good, right? It's all those notes. Third stage, how do you feel right after? Are you in your bed? Are you sleeping in your bed after your chicken parm? Or are you feeling
Gassy.
energized? You're
Yeah.
feeling good.
Yeah, you won't feel
last
gassy.
last stage, how do you feel 20, 30, 40 years later? Hopefully
Whoa,
alive.
whoa. 20 to 30 years later?
Yeah, food is an investment in your life long term.
Food's an
And-
investment in your life. I knew he's about. I was predicting the word
I
investment
thought you
coming.
were
I
like
loved
30
it.
minutes later.
Right? So those are the 4 stages. And I think if you look at the food system, you look at most restaurants out there, they're either really good at phase 1 and 2 or really good at phase 3 and 4. Think traditional fast food. Really good. You look at that picture of a burger on the TV, looks amazing. You eat it, usually tastes pretty good.
Tastes damn good.
How do you feel right after?
Not so good.
Not so good.
Bloated. Very
Don't feel
bloated,
great.
and my ankles are swelling up. I retain a lot of water.
And how do you feel many years later?
Yeah, I don't feel that great right now.
Not so good.
So I guess
All
I'm
right,
in the
now-
30, 40 years later.
Right,
Yeah.
so
I
flip-
don't even
flip
look very
side.
good.
Yeah, take the flip side. Health food restaurants for the most part.
But Jonathan,
Right.
is it too
What
late
do they
for
do?
me? Am I
What
done?
do they
Is it
do?
over for me?
It's
Never
not
too
too late
late.
for you. It's never too late.
It's never too late.
But yeah, think about what
Are you a doctor also?
I'm not. I'm just curious about, very curious about
Play a
nutrition.
doctor. You sound like a doctor.
Think about how most healthy food places. What do they tell you? Eat your vegetables because it's good for you, and then you eat it, and it tastes like cardboard. But then
That's
right
not
after,
awesome.
you
But
feel
I gotta ask you something that's
feel
very
good about
confusing.
yourself, and you're good long term.
But there
So
has
how
been
do
a
you-
lot of there's been a lot of information going back and forth. I remember when we were younger, they said, you eat some eggs. And then all of a sudden, they're like, don't eat the yellow part. They're terrible for you. Don't eat the yellow part.
That's
Yeah,
wrong.
Everything was
Yellow's
egg whites.
good.
And then now
Yellow's
we're back
good.
to, you gotta have the yellow. If you don't eat the yellow, you're gonna die. You know? And then I remember when steak was good, and then steak was bad, and now steak's good, right? Who do I believe?
Eggs are good.
Believe Jonathan.
I'm believing Jonathan.
I believe Jonathan.
Steak is good. Anything real is good. Protein
Real
is
is good,
Real is
Jimmy.
good.
Process is bad.
Yeah, I say if they eat it
Fat is
really, it's
good.
okay.
Fat is good. Sugar is bad. There is a lot of lying to the public, whether it be the food pyramid, whether it be this huge fight against fat and replacing it with sugar. If you see something that's non-fat, be very curious.
Yeah,
What's
I remember,
most
remember when
important is
snack
at the
wells
label.
were like the biggest rage. You're too young to remember that. And everybody was just eating like pounds and pounds, but it was all sugar. But they're like, oh, but there's no fat in this.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I think there's a moment right now in America where this is for the first time a conversation that's being had nationally in the public arena. I'm a huge fan of RFK. I think what he's doing to make America healthy again and allow people to understand how important the food we're putting in our body is to the health of our people and the nation is absolutely
I
critical.
agree. But just one last thing, and then we're going to move on. Fruit Loops, that's got to be good for you, right? I mean, they're Fruit Loops, and they're delicious. I mean, can you tell me that Fruit Loops with the bird with the big beak? I mean, he was so adorable. Got to be good, right? What
Yeah,
kid doesn't
sure.
like Fruit Loops?
If you like chemicals, for sure.
You see, you had to bring it down. I mean, that's my cheat day, Fruit Loops. I mean, come on, what kid doesn't like Fruit Loops? Well, anyway, look,
Fruit is
you
good.
guys are,
Chemicals
I
are
was
bad.
kidding, of course. I mean, you guys certainly have, I believe that you are the coolest brand in the I'll call it fast casual dining, fast casual space. You are without a doubt the coolest company out there. Everybody knows that you guys are the coolest. You guys are launching a Sweet Life Music Festival, right? Oh, and so let's talk about your first launch of the Sweet Life Music Festival in the early days, bringing music and food together, right? So I mean, you know that the young generation, they love music and they love this whole idea of eating healthy. And now you guys are dropping a lot of merch, right? And I mean, Jimmy and I love merch. Jimmy's got one of our cool hats on right now. It's probably too cool for Jimbo. Great, what's the strategy that you guys are using behind expanding to almost like a lifestyle? It's not just Sweetgreen for food. It's like now it's music and connecting with your guests, not just in the restaurant or on delivery, but there's just a whole flywheel. It's like, are you guys going to become the next Ralph Lauren? Will I be wearing Sweetgreen clothes? You know what I mean? Like, will that be it? And what will the logo be on my shirt? It won't be a polo guy. What will it be?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. From the very beginning, it was this idea of not just being a restaurant company, but building a brand that has cultural relevance and connects to your lifestyle. We call this idea the sweet life. It's
The
this
sweet
idea,
life.
the sweet life is where your passion and purpose
Is that like Dolce Vita? What's the Dolce Vita mean?
It is
Italian.
La Dolce Vita. That's exactly right.
Life. I like that. You see, Jim? Oh, I'm smart.
So we've always taken this approach of connecting to these passion points, and for us, music is something we personally love. It's a universal language, and we thought, how cool if we could have this big experiential event where we bring amazing acts, but we bring amazing food, and instead of being stuff that's all bad for you, like most these sorts of events are, it's not necessarily all healthy food, but it's all real food.
Right.
So we're going to get rid of the soda. And if we're going to have soda, we'll bring in a natural soda. We're going to bring kind of craft beers and organic wines. And we're going to bring Sweetgreen and other friends that are bringing food that kind of meets this idea, this ethos that we believe in, and really tell a story and engage our community. And so we did it with Sweet Life. We've done it a lot with our chef collaborations. Today we do it with a lot of our merch and the content we create. But the idea is, how do we be more than just a restaurant brand? How do we have a different place in your heart by connecting to this lifestyle and this cultural relevance?
I love it.
I think it's absolutely critical in building our brand.
It really is.
I think what you just described, first of all, I think it's awesome. I think it's important. It's also very much on brand for Sweetgreen. You guys are.
Should I block out the Pepsi logo there? I mean,
if you want Pepsi to drop us, we're
probably going to.
Yeah.
What he meant to say is, at their music festivals, they have healthy sodas and Starry's there too, Jimmy.
Oh, you know what? Pepsi's got some wonderful beverages that they can supply to the Sweet Life event. What I was going to say is, one of the things I'm super impressed by, because it's just so on brand, despite your guys' tremendous growth, Sweetgreen remains committed to working with local farms. And I think that is just so true to your ethos. But I don't think a lot of people could imagine that despite your growth and success, you stayed committed to that. You've scaled to hundreds of locations. How do you maintain those relationships to ensure food traceability as you continue to grow, and also your commitment to work with local farms?
I think it starts with our mission. Our reason for being for the company is about connecting people to real food and an understanding of our business model, which is what is our core competency? What do people love about us? And what they love about us is the quality of the food. The quality of the food comes from really two things: sourcing the best food, and then making it from scratch with craft and love. And those are the two things that really differentiate what we do. It's regional and sustainable sourcing. We know our farmers. We really take a lot of time to understand them and the quality of the food that's coming out. We built regional supply chains in order to support this. And then we make everything from scratch in our restaurants. And that's also unique for fast food, as you probably know. Most
comes in a bag or a box?
Most are coming in a bag and a box. We take those ingredients. If you see, it's why we open our kitchens. You kind of go in and you can see everything being washed, chopped, roasted, fresh all the time in our restaurants. And that's absolutely critical. So it really comes down, from our mission, understanding what drives our business model and what drives that flywheel, and then culture. We have this belief in a relentless pursuit of quality. And I've told my team this a million times, and they're sick of hearing it from me. Most restaurant companies, and most companies, but really restaurant companies, as they get bigger, they get worse.
Yeah, it makes sense because they grow their supply chain, they try to save money and be more efficient. And a lot of times the quality is when you try to get more efficient, it's usually cutting corners to make it like cheaper or easier.
And we have a belief: get better as you get bigger. How do we, as we get bigger, how do we leverage our scale in order to actually improve the product? And this actually brings you to, why did we invest in automation? Part of why we did it is, it's a true win-win-win. Our customers are loving it because it's faster, perfectly portioned, higher food quality. Our team members love it because it's easier to work. And we're seeing 50% turnover in our stores. Our business loves it because we're seeing a ton of leverage at the store level. But one of the reasons we decided to do this is exactly what we talked about in terms of preserving quality as we scale. What most companies have to do in order to continue to drive their margins is start cutting things in terms of the quality of the food.
It's always the quality.
It's the quality. I'm going to buy,
a little cheaper. Buy a little bit cheaper.
I'm going to let it come out of a bag. I'm going to do these things. And we said, well, that's going to be the end of us. That's going to be the unwinding of a company that is built on quality.
You're right.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we preserve that? Not only preserve it, why don't we elevate that? Buy the best food. Make it from scratch.
No seed oils.
No seed oils. But instead of find the leverage through technology. And use the technology to actually improve the experience, and that is going to be how we get the leverage. So, that's really the philosophy of the organization and the culture of this relentless pursuit of quality and leveraging innovation, art, and science to figure out a way to get there.
I love it. Listen, we got to take a quick break. Okay, but don't go anywhere because we're right back, okay? With we got Jonathan Neiman here. I got to tell you, chairman, CEO, founder of Sweetgreen, dropping knowledge. Jimmy's left speechless. I've never seen this happen.
Taking notes.
He's taking notes. I mean, I got to tell you, dropping knowledge. We're going to be right back with Hot or Not and the branded quickfire. So don't go away. Be right back, everybody. All right, welcome back, everybody. We got Jonathan Neiman dropping knowledge from Sweetgreen, one of the greatest guests we've ever had. Probably the last time I'll ever be on the podcast, but you know what? We got him now, and at least taking notes. Why he's on. Let's use him. All right, listen. Playing Hot or Not, Mr. Jonathan Neiman. Dr. Neiman, may I dare say, Dr. Neiman. Are you ready for Hot or Not?
Ready.
Drone delivery, hot or not?
Promising, but
kitchens, hot or not?
Not.
3D printed food, hot or not?
I'd say I'm curious. I've been very outspoken.
Wasn't one of the options, Doctor?
He's allowed. He's allowed.
Okay.
The hot take for you. I've been very open from day one when it was controversial to say so, that fake meat is disgusting. It's not good for you. I don't believe it's better for the environment. I don't buy any of that.
Tell us how you really feel about the fake meat. No, and
I don't buy it. But
the
3D printed, hot.
The bear hot. All right, Jimmy. You got it. So
Joe Delivery was promising.
Ghost Kitchen's not.
Ghost Kitchen was not.
The Bear is hot.
Yes.
I mean, Dr. Neiman is a huge television fanatic.
Well, you know what? I might parlay two. I'm going to start with the Bear, which you gave a big hot to, and also I feel like you could be I could see them doing a show about you. In fact, let me rephrase that. I could see you playing yourself in the show because you got those Hollywood looks. So, so share the Bear. Tell us
I
about
have looks like this. I mean, do you realize I'd have a salad chain?
I think what's cool. I think what's cool about the Bear is from being in the industry, it feels very real.
Yep,
Like I'm curious how
that's
people
why I asked
outside
about
of it, how people outside of the industry take to it. But I feel like if you're in the industry, it feels super authentic.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a comedy.
Yes, Jeff.
Billed as a comedy, but yes, it's good. The acting's good. The writing's good. I actually haven't finished the newest season.
I'll let Jimmy
but
tell you what happens.
I'll tell you, I made my on season 2 where they had the Forks episode. You guys remember that one?
Yeah.
Where he has to go to the 11 Madison Park and he has to
You made everybody watch it?
I made the whole company watch it because I think there was something really amazing about the way they talked about hospitality, which, name of your podcast, right?
Yeah.
And you remember that scene where he's like, hospitality and hospital, and there's a reason that it's called hospitality because we're in the business of taking care of people.
I love that.
I thought it was beautiful.
It is.
I kind of felt you were going to talk about the reality based and how real it is for someone who's in the business. I agree. I often dine with folks who are not in the industry, and they have this false sense of how the industry operates, and maybe a misunderstanding. They are projecting their guest experience onto it, and therefore think they understand it, which to me cracks me up. But one of my favorite misnomers is someone might speak less than nicely to a server, waitress, waiter, etc., and then they're sending a message back to the kitchen. And my comment, and that rarely happens at the table on that because I will jump on the person for doing it, but I'm like, you're not sending a message back to the kitchen. You're showing your ignorance of how this restaurant operates. If you think that server is going back to the kitchen and going to start basically delivering your message of displeasure, you know nothing about the workings of a restaurant. But I think that is that's really cool, and I'm glad I asked about the Bear. So, Shatsy, we'll go to the service.
We're going what?
Food service.
The feud?
It's food. Food service food, baby.
Okay, let's go to the feud.
About the feud. What about how the feud made it onto the podcast? The feud started at dinners, and now it's elevated to the podcast.
It's the food service feud. Are you ready, Dr. Neiman and Jimmy, the finance guy, going head to head to see if they can make their families proud and win fabulous prizes here at the food service feud? Are you ready to play the feud?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Very excited.
We asked over 100 million people.
100.
100 people. 100 million people.
100.
Name something people do at a restaurant that annoys their server. Jimmy?
Snaps. Point snaps.
Okay, and that's not number one. Jonathan, you could steal.
He's doing the hand gesture.
The check gesture.
The check. Ding, ding, ding. We're going with the hand gesture on the check. We're going hand gesture on the check. Yes, that's the big answer. That's the big number one answer. And
some of the other answers.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, Jimmy. There's nothing written down on my page here, so I just made it up. I just knew you couldn't win.
All right.
The other one is, Jimmy. Do you want to go with guess number 3?
Yeah, one of my pet peeves when I watch guests do this is when the server is reeling off specials. Have you tried that? Did you try that?
What's good?
But no, did you try that? I'm like, you do understand. You're basically the servers get a staff meal, and by the way, some restaurants do a really nice job with the staff meal.
Agreed.
They don't necessarily get to try every single special, like the lobster diavolo. We're not maybe making that staff meal, so I always feel like, have you tried that? And the server goes no, and then they keep going through each special, and the server's like, no, and I'm like, can you stop bothering the server? She hasn't tried every special on the menu tonight. That I think is pretty funny.
And then what Jonathan, give me another one.
I think the end of the meal, there's a reason people do this hand gesture.
Yeah.
Is because when you're done, you're done. What's his name? Who was it?
Danny Meyer.
Sean Feeney gave a really great podcast where he talked about how they timed what's the appropriate time in terms of a perfect turn. So like when you arrive at the restaurant, how many minutes till you're pissed? And how do we make it that we know that if you arrive in your reservations at 7 o'clock and it gets to 7:10, you're going to be pissed. So we're going to offer you a drink right after 10 minutes.
Right.
You know, when you sit down, you want to have your drink order taken within 2 minutes.
Yes, 2 minutes.
When you're done, when you've had dessert, you actually want your check. You want your check with your dessert. You don't want dessert and then sitting there for another 30 minutes.
I take my dessert to go. That's how.
Yeah.
That's how. I want to get out.
You want to get out of there.
All right. Split the check 8 ways,
Oh, that's good. Split the check 8 ways.
and then ask what's good.
Oh.
What's good? Everything. What's good? And the last one, we say we're ready to order, and they say, and then they come over, and you're not ready to order.
Oh, that's annoying.
That is annoying. Well, anyway, yeah, that's what it. Anyway, let's get back to our second favorite, which is the Trivia Tuesday.
Trivia Tuesday. At the top of the show, I shared 3 factoids about our friend Jonathan. And Shadsy's going to pick which of the 2 are truth, which one is less than a truth. Jonathan was a New Year baby born exactly 12 a.m. on January 1st. Fact 2, Jonathan's favorite hobby is surfing. Fact 3, Jonathan's favorite fruit is avocado. One of the original names of Sweetgreen was Avo. I think I'm gonna play.
You're gonna play?
You're gonna play first.
All right.
I want to play. I want to play.
Surfing. How long you live out in L.A.?
Born and raised.
Oh, come on, man.
Okay.
That's
So he's a surfer. And yeah, I don't think that he was born. I don't think he's a New Year's baby.
Okay. Well, that I think is the obvious choice. I'm going. I don't think a Sweetgreen a name. I don't think Avo was going to be one of the names of Sweetgreen. That's what I'm going with.
Damn it,
so we
you're probably
disagree.
right.
Hold on. We have a little disagreement here, and the good news is we got Jonathan to tell us which one of us is right, if at all. So go ahead, Jonathan. What do you got?
Shatsy's right. I was turned 42 weeks ago.
You were born what?
I turned 42 weeks ago, October 26th.
Oh, Shatsy was right.
You were
Not
right.
even close.
Not even close.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was the news.
It wasn't even like,
It
he was born on the 31st.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not even close.
Yeah, not even close.
Avo was almost the name.
Yeah, we loved avocado. Thank God we didn't do that with the volatility of avocado prices. Imagine if we put avocado in every dish.
and there's an Avo in New York City.
There is an Avo in New York.
I know. I saw
It was
that.
called Avocadoria, and now it's just Avo.
Yeah.
I thought avocado was a lot.
It
Avocado.
sounded like diarrhea.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man.
I'm just saying, like,
All right.
it just doesn't
All right,
sound.
not on our show. Come on.
All right, Jimmy.
Come
You know, I thought there was a safe place.
You know what? It's a safe place, but
I thought it
not
was
for that word.
It's not that safe.
Not that safe.
All right. Well, listen. Let's jump right into a little brand new quick fire. All right. We got Dr. Neiman, Jonathan Neiman, founder, CEO, president, and chairman of the board
Keep giving them titles.
of one of the greatest restaurant
You
chains.
always got people in this company that have those titles are like going to listen to this episode and be like, did I get fired? Did I miss the memo?
Yeah, but he's the boss. He can do whatever he
He's the
wants.
boss.
He can do whatever he wants. All right, Brandon Quickfire. Okay, Sweetgreen edition. Are you ready, Dr. Neiman?
Let's go.
Favorite place to travel?
Costa Rica.
Nice.
Surfing.
There you
Big
go.
surfing. Most used app on your phone that you invented?
Spotify.
Nice, because he's the Spotify of
Spotify of
restaurants.
restaurants.
Who's your number one artist on Spotify? What is your number one?
I had to check. Right now it's Talking Heads.
Wow.
Oh, gee, look at you going old school. I love it, man. I love it. What's your Uber rating right now?
Can I tell you a funny story?
Yes.
Please.
So 8 years ago, about 8 or so years ago, when I was about to go on the first date with my now wife, I was sitting in a room with actually my business partner and his fiance at the time and 2 other couples, and they realized you could see your own Uber rating. And they all opened their Uber apps and realized each couple had their own Uber rating, the same exact Uber rating down to the decimal. And so the three had their exact same. You know, I go out on a date that night with my now wife. I ask her what her Uber rating is, and we had the same exact Uber rating. So I guess it was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
And what was that Uber rating that was meant to be?
It's going to be higher than your sheds.
No, not
No,
your Uber rating now.
Let me see. It wasn't great. I think it's probably better now.
How long ago did you guys meet?
We've known each other forever, but our first date was about 8 years ago. 464. Not bad.
Wait, your Uber rating is 464?
Yeah, not bad.
Jimmy, I found somebody worse than me. This is brilliant. Are you?
Is 464 bad?
I mean, I can only
By
tell
the way,
you that we ask a lot of people to Uber
I
rate.
can only tell you that Shatsy is like a 481. And that's been, and by the way, my rating has gotten better when Shats and I stopped traveling together to the airport because I'd order the Uber. Shats would then start being less than awesome, giving directions in a New York kind of angry, frustrated. And I'm like, Shatsy, you're killing my rating here.
Yeah, we understand that just signing up, you get a 4.8.
Clearly not.
And it can either go up and down from there.
By the way, I like that he and his wife have this shared Uber rating. And so, by the way, but you know what? Maybe on the West Coast, maybe drivers are just tougher graders on the West
I
Coast.
want to know when you met your wife. I want to know what your Uber rating was that you guys fell in love with each other.
It was worse than that, I think. I think it was
It's gotten better. Maybe West Coast
I
is
gotta
tough.
tell you, Dr. Neiman, you made my day because we've been hard pressed to find someone more super rating than me. I gotta tell you, we did.
Congratulations.
Jimbo, let's bring us home, baby.
Well, Shatsy, do you want to do question 5?
I was so excited the Uber rating. I forgot about that.
You know,
Holy
Joe
cow.
Rogan's laughing at you right now. You're not even getting your own segment right.
If you were to challenge Jimmy or I to a game of hopscotch, who do you have better odds of beating?
Ooh. I'm going to go with Jimmy.
Why do you say that?
He has better odds of beating me.
Yeah.
I think he chose you as the winner. He'd have a harder time beating you.
Oh, is that what he said?
That's what he said. If you have an easier time. Wait, hold on.
Wait,
You know-
what?
Yeah, that's right.
Right. I heard him
So
say.
he'll beat me?
No,
in hopscotch?
He'll have a better
I
time.
need you guys to. I need you guys to stand up so I get a better look.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. I mean, look at this.
Yeah, I think
You
this
see
is
the
one
mobility,
category. I
I
would
feel
agree with
that.
Jonathan. You're wiry, Shatsy.
I'm
You're
wiry.
You're wiry.
I love
Wiry.
hopscotch.
Yeah, I think you could play hopscotch pretty well.
I could do hopscotch.
Also,
I
if
can't
you-
do anything else.
You know what? I'm going to simply say I agree with Jonathan's prediction. Sorry, his call that he had a better time, easier time beating me in hopscotch.
Guy invented the iPhone. I think he knows what he's
Only
doing.
one-
He beat
only
either of
way
us,
to
but I think he
find out.
definitely beat you. Also, he's a surfer.
And he's a surfer.
All right, listen, Jonathan, we really enjoyed this. We were super excited when we heard you're going to be on our podcast. Love what you and the team at Sweetgreen are doing. We lean heavily into the tech space and believe it's a differentiator. And certainly, we're in the people business, the food and beverage business, but we can be tech enabled and tech supported. I don't know another restaurant group that really embraces leaning into tech to try to find ways to create operational efficiency, better experience for the guests, personalization. So hats off to you, because I think you really are one of the gold standards when it comes to tech and innovation for a restaurant business.
Agreed.
Again, hats off. If any of our
Can you stop
listeners...
kissing his ass? I mean, honestly, Jimmy,
Thank
you
you.
trying to get like a
Thank you.
free Sweetgreen card or something?
You want that merge?
Yeah, like the VIP
Card,
card.
if you have you want?
I mean, honestly.
I just want a hat. I just want a hat. That's it. I'm a hat guy. That's all I need is a hat. I'll go find a hat.
Kiss this
Might
guy's
make a
ass
hat.
like
Listen,
that.
if you want to get in touch with Jonathan directly, you can email the podcast team at podcast@brandedstrategic.com, and we'd be happy to make the connection for you. And then if you want to go find Sweetgreen, I think it's...
How do we find it? Sweetgreen.
Sweetgreen.com.
Is it sweetgreen.com?
Sweetgreen.com, download the app, and you
Yep.
can find me on Twitter. at
Download
Johnny
the
Neiman.
app.
And again, awesome app. Can't wait to see the new loyalty platform. So, Jonathan, again, with appreciation, and I'll pass it back to my boy Shatsy to close us out for today.
Thank you, guys.
I'm reading something here. I don't know what it means, so I'll just skip it. Hey, listen, cheers, everybody. And if you haven't already subscribed, check out the Hospitality Headline, our great newsletter. Every Saturday morning comes out around 6 a.m. Eastern Time. You are gonna love it. Cheers, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers.